Hello and welcome. Today we're going to get into something that so many of us know all too well. That frustrating and, let's be honest, exhausting cycle of yo-yo dieting.
You know the feeling, right? You start a new diet with all this hope. You lose a little weight and you think, okay, this is it. I finally cracked the code. But then life happens. The weight comes back, sometimes with friends, and you're right back where you started. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, I promise you, you are not alone.
Okay, let's just pause on this for a second, because this quote right here, it changes everything. For so long, we've been taught that dieting is all about willpower. But what if the issue isn't your lack of discipline? What if it's just your biology doing its job? This isn't about you failing a diet. It's about the diet failing how your body is actually designed to work.
So let's really pull back the curtain on what's going on here. We're going to start by digging into this yo-yo diet trap and see just how common it really is.
The official name for this whole thing is weight cycling, and it's exactly what it sounds like. That classic up and down of a yo-yo, but with your body weight. It's that repeated pattern of losing weight on purpose, followed by that frustrating, unintentional regain.
And here's what's truly staggering. Just look at how many people go through this. We are talking about a huge part of the population. Some studies show up to 55% of women and 35% of men have been on this ride. So this isn't some fringe issue. It's a really common response to our modern diet culture.
So why? Why does this happen? Well, to get that, we have to look at our own biology. See, your body is this incredible survival machine, and when you start restricting its food, it has some very strong opinions about that.
You have to remember, when you slash your calories, your body has no idea you're just trying to look good for a vacation. It thinks there's a famine. Our bodies are basically wired for an ancient world where food was scarce, not our modern world of drive-thrus. Its number one job is to keep you alive, so it kicks on this powerful defense system called adaptive thermogenesis. And that, in a nutshell, means your body gets way better at holding on to every bit of energy it can.
So how exactly does your body fight back? Well, it's a full-on counterattack. First, your hunger hormones, like ghrelin, just go into overdrive, while the ones that signal you're full, they take a nosedive. Second, your resting metabolism. That's the energy you burn just existing, it slows down. Third, you just have less energy to move around, for everything from hitting the gym to just fidgeting. And get this, even your digestion can slow down to squeeze every single calorie out of what you eat. Your body's literally fighting you every step of the way. And this is one of the most frustrating parts of the entire cycle. When you lose weight, you lose a mix of fat and really valuable muscle. But, and here's the kicker, when you regain it, your body preferentially packs on what scientists call catch-up fat. It's trying to rebuild your energy stores fast just in case another famine comes along. And this can leave you with a higher body fat percentage than when you first started, even if you're at the exact same weight.
But you know, it's not all biology. Our minds and the world around us play a huge role in keeping us stuck on this hamster wheel. Let's look at the psychology of it and the massive industry that actually profits from this cycle.
This is the mental roller coaster of dieting, isn't it? It starts with restriction, which, no surprise, leads to some pretty intense cravings. When you finally break the diet, which is inevitable, it's usually followed by this tidal wave of guilt and shame. And what do those feelings do? They push you to start an even stricter diet on Monday, kicking the whole painful cycle off all over again. And it's not just in our heads. Our environment is constantly nudging us back into that cycle. Just think about social media. You like one video about a diet, and boom, your entire feed is suddenly full of it. A study from the University of Vermont found that almost half of all nutrition content on TikTok was all about weight loss. It creates this digital echo chamber that makes restrictive eating feel totally normal.
So the big question is, all of this up and down, what's it actually doing to our health? And this is where the science gets really interesting because, well, there's a pretty big debate going on right now.
For years, a lot of research has connected weight cycling to some pretty serious health risks. Some major studies have shown that people who yo-yo diet have a higher risk of developing things like heart failure. We're talking a 54% increased risk and a 23% higher risk for type 2 diabetes when compared to people who maintain a stable weight. But here's the twist. The science is not settled. A huge systematic review from just this year, 2024, looked at a ton of studies and came to a totally different conclusion. They found that when you really get into the weeds of the data, weight cycling doesn't actually seem to have these negative effects on your body composition or your metabolism. It kind of suggests the whole picture is a lot more complicated than we thought. So, with the science being a little confusing and our biology clearly working against us, how in the world do you get off this roller coaster? Let's talk about what experts say is a much healthier and frankly more effective way forward.
This slide really lays out the big mindset shift. Over on one side, you've got chronic dieting, which is all about restriction, guilt, and chasing these unstable short-term results. But on the other side, you have a sustainable lifestyle. And that's all about balance, finding enjoyment, and building stable, long-term habits.
So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it means changing your focus. It's about adding nourishing foods in, not just taking bad foods out. It's about finding ways to move your body that you actually enjoy instead of punishing yourself with workouts you hate. It means practicing mindful eating to learn how to listen to your body's own signals again. And maybe, most importantly, it's about setting goals that are about your health, like having more energy, not just about a number on a scale.
And that kind of leaves us with this one last really important question to think about. The entire diet industry is built on one tool, the scale. But what if that's the wrong tool? What if real health isn't found in those numbers going up and down, but in the small, consistent, and kind things we do for ourselves every single day? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.